What stupid joke do you love? If I'm going to be frank, I'd have to change my name. I'm going to be frank with you. Then who should I be? What's about a foot long, and slippery? A slipper. What's brown and sticky? A stick. What's brown and rhymes with Snoop? Dr. Dre. A man finds a penguin at his doorstep. His friends tell him to take it to the zoo. Later that day, they see him walking down the street while still carrying the penguin. They ask him, "Weren't you going to take it to the zoo?" And the man says, "I did. Now I'm taking it to the movies." I love penguins and I think this is hilarious. Smiley face, smiley face. Have you heard the one about the penguin breaking down in the desert? That's my go-to joke that I've perfected with voices and flipper gestures. I haven't. How does it go? A penguin is driving through the desert when his car starts to overheat. He pulls into a service station to have it looked at, and walks across the street to the grocery store to hang out in the freezer section, gets hungry, and buys a snack. After a while, he goes back to check on his car and says, "Well, how's it look?" The mechanic replies, "It looks like you blew a seal." The penguin wipes his face and says, "Oh, no, that's just a little ice cream." I have been trying to remember the details to this joke for over 3 years. Thank you so much for this. I went to the zoo the other day and they only had one animal in the entire place, a pathetic-looking little dog. It was a Shih Tzu. What do you get when you cross a scientist with a chimpanzee? A strongly worded letter from the ethics department. Also, the revocation of your funding. Says a friend. SNL did a skit about something close to that. It's considered one of their darker skits. YouTube link. You said dark skit, and I really expected The Rock's child molesting robot lol. I was walking through a quarry and said to the foreman, "That's a big rock." "Boulder," he replied. So I puffed out my chest and shouted, "Look at that enormous rock over there." Man at funeral, it's a hole in the ground you can get water from. Widow, thanks, I know you mean well. Man at funeral, do you mind if I say a word? Widow, please do. Man, plethora. Widow, thank you, that means a lot. Another man, would it be okay if I say a word? Widow, please, go ahead. Another man, bargain. Widow, thank you. It means a great deal. Third man, would it be okay if I say a word? Widow, please, go ahead. Third man, Earth. Widow, thank you. It means the world. Man, would it be okay if I say a word? Widow, please, go ahead. Man, omniscient. Widow, thank you. That means more than you can know. Another man, would it be okay if I say a word? Widow, please, go ahead. Another man, maximal. Widow, thank you. It means the most. Another man, would it be okay if I say a word? Widow, please, go ahead. Another man, El Mundo Widow, thank you, that means the world to me. What's the surname of that Austrian racing driver? Lauda? What's the surname of that Austrian racing driver? When life gives you melons, you know you have dyslexia. Similarly, when life gives you scurvy, make lemonade. Dyslexia is very common, affecting 10 out of 2 people. There are 3 kinds of people in this world, those who can count and those who can't. You mean to tell me a shrimp fried this rice? The pun is even stronger in Mandarin. It's called, which is a pun for prawn man fries rice, or just a lame man fries rice. 2 fish are in a tank. One turns to the other and says, "How do you drive this thing?" 2 soldiers in a tank. One turns to the other and says, "BBLB PBLB BB." 2 muffins are in an oven. One turns to the other and asks, "Is it getting hot in here to you?" The other muffin goes, "Holy crap, it's a talking muffin." I got fired from my job at the calendar factory. I took a day off. I got fired from the orange juice factory. I just couldn't concentrate. Your days were numbered there anyway. I usually tell dad jokes. Most of the time he laughs. When I gave my dad his 50th birthday card, he said, "One would have been enough." This one was a slow burn for me. I exhaled heavily from my nostrils on the initial read, thought about the joke again, then audibly chuckled the second time around. I tell dad jokes all the time even though I'm not actually a dad, I'm a faux pas. I do too, but he stopped laughing a few years back. Manuel, is your car automatic? It's manual. Oh, I'm sorry. Manual, is your car automatic? Translated from Portuguese. American trying to pick up UK chicks in a bar. Hey, are you girls from England? It's Wales. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you Wales from England? American and a Mexican sit down at a bar and both order a Budweiser. Bartender tells the American that's $5, to which he pays. He then charges the Mexican $2, so the American asks why he was charged more, to which the bartender replies, he gets the señor's discount. Manuel, is your car automatic? It's auto. Oh, sorry, auto, is your car manual? What is the difference between a hippo and a zippo? One is very heavy, and the other one is a little lighter. This is my very favorite joke. I'm so easily entertained. Not mine. I got it here somewhere, but it's one of my favorites. Guy walks into a liquor store. He wanders around a bit, and eventually the store owner asks him if he needs any help. He replies, "Yeah, I do, but I'd rather just get whiskey." Using this at the liquor store. I feel they probably hear it a lot, but I'm about to be a dad. Got to start getting in character. My dad always responds to, "Do you need any help with?" I think I'm beyond help. So's favorite joke at a restaurant, "Excuse me, do you have reservations?" "Yeah, but we are going to eat here anyway." What do you see when a duck bends over? A butt quack. God, I'm so childish. Why don't chickens wear underwear? 'Cause they're peckers on their face. Of course, this is the one I laugh at. What's red and bad for your teeth? A brick. What's blue and even worse for your teeth? A very fast brick. What's blue and smells like red paint? Blue paint. Edit, how has this got 1K upvotes? You crazy lot, you. What's red and tastes like blue paint? Red paint. What's green and has wheels? Grass. I lied about the wheels. Is this a blue shift joke? I used to have a red bumper sticker that said, "If this sticker is blue, you're driving too fast." That's a very fast brick. Stupid jokes always get me. I have faith that eventually you'll learn to duck. I'm reading a horror story in Braille. Something bad is going to happen. I can feel it. This is gold. Person A, I took my wife to the Caribbean. Person B, Jamaica? Person A, no, she wanted to go. Fun fact, this is the joke that made the title of the Led Zeppelin song Dear Maker. They also hated that the song, which they viewed as a total joke, "Oh, you don't have to go," and played like fake reggae, got inadvertently picked up as a single, as they didn't provide singles for radio. A, we went to Bournemouth at the weekend. B, endorse it? A, yes, I'd recommend it to anyone. English geography knowledge required. But these two are often told back to back here. There's more as well, but I can't remember them. A, I took my wife to Indonesia. B, Jakarta? A, no, we went by boat. We'd like a table for two. Do you have reservations? Yes, but we're going to eat here, anyway. Did you hear that people in Dubai don't like the Flintstones? But the people in Abu Dhabi do. This joke gave me a beer gut and like 15% more chest hair. That joke was so dad it yelled at me for messing with the thermostat. This is the one. I'm ready for my child now. What do we want? Low-flying airplane noises. When do we want them? New www. What do we want? Hearing aids. When do we want them? Hearing aids. Okay, this made me snort. The CIA, KGB, and MI6 decide to have a contest. Each is given the task to find a rabbit released in the woods. The CIA uses spy planes and satellites and finds the rabbit in 2 hours. The MI6 deploys recon and search teams and finds it in 3 hours. The KGB return after 1 hour with a badly beaten bear who cries out, "I am the rabbit and I surrender." German version from the 80s, CIA, Mossad and the BND, Bundesnachrichtendienst, Federal Intelligence Service, have their contest the next year. Task: find a bear. The CIA team comes back after 6 hours with a bear carcass riddled with bullet holes. However, they are beaten by the 2 Mossad guys who return after 2 hours with a dead bear sporting a single bullet hole right between the eyes. The next day the busload of BND operatives finally return, dragging a live deer by the antlers, hitting it with sticks, and yelling at it, "Confess that you're a bear." The actual agencies tend to vary depending on who is telling it, but here's, roughly, version I remember. FBI, NSA, and CIA are all trying to find the rabbit. The NSA plants surveillance throughout the woods, pays informants, and taps all the phones. After a couple of weeks, they announce that rabbits don't actually exist and go home. The FBI sends hundreds of agents in on a massive manhunt, finding nothing. Eventually they set fire to the woods and burn the whole thing down, killing all the animals including the rabbit. The rabbit obviously had it coming. The CIA sends a small team in. A couple hours later they come out with a bear that's screaming that he's a rabbit. Said in one sentence quickly, what's the most important part of a joke? Timing. My favorite version of this is where you wait until the other person starts to speak and then interrupt them with timing. Knock knock, who's there? Interrupting cow interumu. Use this on my 5-year-old. It's her favorite joke. I heard that joke in a movie when I was a kid, and I came up with my own second half. I'd say the first half just like that, but the second time around I'd have the other person ask me what the most important part of comedy is and I'd just wait. Eventually they'd ask when I was going to say the punchline and then I'd say it. My mom liked it so much that she told me to tell her the joke but wait like 10 years to say the punchline. It's been 6 years already and I haven't forgotten. Followed by, what is the second most important part of a joke? Repetition. This suit is black, not. I actually saw it on a post that made it to the front page of r/all. Why are seagulls called seagulls? Because if they flew over bays, they'd be bagels. I stared at it for like several seconds at how stupid it was. The more I thought about it, the funnier it was for me. Other really bad jokes were some that my dad told me when I was young about books that were never written, which were all just really bad puns between a book title and author name. Example: Dangerous Cliffs by Eileen Dover, Rushing to the Outhouse by Willie Makeit. Rusty Bed Springs by I.P. Knightley, Suicide Pact by Hugo First. There's many others I've forgotten, but these are just to name a few. They're all bad. Reddit link. Rushing to the Outhouse by Willie Makeit and Betty Want. Illustrated by Just in Time. I thought it was illustrated by Doris Locked. My edition was illustrated by Andy Didn't. Why did the mermaid wear seashells? She got too big for her shells. This is very dumb and it made me genuinely laugh out loud. Why do blind people hate skydiving? It scares the hell out of their dogs. It's a joke from It's Always Sunny, but it cracks me up every time. I may not be telling this 100% accurately, but I still remember it quite well. One day, Sherlock proposes to Watson that they go camping one weekend. Watson finds it to be a joyous and decides it's a great idea. The weekend approaches and the men go on their camp. The pitch the tent, cook marshmallows, so on. It was time to turn in. They crawl into their tent and fall asleep. In the middle of the night, Sherlock awakens Watson. "Watson, what do you see?" Mr. Holmes inquired. "The night sky," replied the doctor. "And what do you think that means?" "There are billions of stars out there, Mr. Holmes, and for every star there is a solar system comprised of planets, leading to trillions and trillions of planets. Why, Mr. Holmes, with these odds, there is sure to be intelligent life out there," Dr. Watson exclaims. "No, Watson. It means someone stole our tent. That's pretty much it." I got really hung up on Sherlock proposes to Watson before I read the rest of the sentence. Why did Beethoven kill all of his chickens? They kept going bok bok bok. Why did Bach have so many kids? Because his organ had no stops. What be a pirate's favorite letter? No, me first love be the sea. Similarly, why does it take pirates so long to complete the alphabet? Because they spend so much time at sea. At a funeral, man tells widow, plethora thanks, that means a lot. Another person approaches the widow and begins talking about a hole in the ground full of water. She replies, that isn't very comforting, but I know you mean well. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.